Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining me. My name is Susan Timchak and I am an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up! And I have a fun card to share with you tonight. It involves a little bit of embossing. So let me share with you the card that I'm going to create tonight. Isn't this just, oh, it just springs, it just sings spring. And aren't we ready for some spring? The saying on here I know is a little bit hard to pick up, so I think when I make my this card to show you, I'm going to leave off that saying, and you know, I can decide later. But it does say life is a beautiful thing, and certainly life is a beautiful thing, and sometimes we take it for granted. So this is a card that I did at a class recently. And the women wanted to learn about embossing. So I thought this was the perfect way to teach them. And they didn't have to worry if, you know, something kind of didn't go just perfect for them. Because as we all know, with stamping, it's just not a perfect craft. Imperfection is just the same as having everything perfect. And I'm rambling and I don't know what I'm saying. So I'm just going to move on. So our base is... I just forgot it. Peekaboo Peach. Oh, my goodness. And Peekaboo Peach is going to be leaving us. And I just love saying it. Peekaboo Peach. So I'm going to use my bone folder. It's our basic A2 size card. We have a layer which is cut at 4 by 5 1/4. And that's what we're going to stamp on. And then we have just a scrap piece from that Coffee Designer Series paper pack, which is on the retirement list. If it's not already sold out, you're going to definitely want to check that out and get it. Some of the women were like, oh, I like the coffee. Kind of doesn't really go with the whole decor. But, you know, hey, to each his own, right? So the stamp set that I'm using is Garden in Bloom. And I loved this stamp set. I say loved because it is on the retirement list. And I'm going to be so sad to see it go. As you can see, it has been well loved. So it has some beautiful flowers, butterflies, a little bee, a couple little sayings, leaves. It's perfect. So sadly, yeah, well, every good thing must end, right? So let me get a little scratch paper to put underneath while I stamp. So I have some of them mounted. Now, one of the things you want to keep in mind with some of our double and triple stamps are some of them you may see this little arrow. Let me put it back on the stamp so you can see it better. Do you see that little arrow right there? That is to show you that when you go to stamp, say the outline image, that too has an arrow. So if you stamp straight down with that one, and then you stamp with this one, if you put the arrows, you know, going the same direction, it's going to help you easily align them up. But to me, imperfection is fine. So, excuse me, I have this throat thing, and if you've been following me lately, you'll know I've been having this forever, and I just can't get rid of this. I don't know if it's allergies or what. But we're going to start with our Peekaboo Peach. Oh, and we have a little Peekaboo Fuzz on there. All right, so we're using the bold image, and we're going to stamp off and then stamp. It just makes such a much lighter image. Stamp off and stamp. Stamp off and stamp. All right, I think that's good. Maybe one more. There we go, just because. All right, so now we're done with that. We'll close that up. The next ink color we're going to use is our Calypso Coral. And we're going to use this little doohickey design. This too has the little arrow. And I'm not going to worry about the arrow. And this I'm going to use Full Force. And this one is going to go, and there's some action going on under my feet here with my kitty cats. And I don't know about you, if you own animals or not, but, you know, they act different when I think the full moon is coming. And I think there's a full moon coming, because at work today, it certainly seemed as though the full moon was coming. And I see that in my animals, too. All right, I'm not going to worry about being perfect, remember? Okay, that looks good. Good for me. Okay, next up, let's go ahead and do our leaves. And we're using Lemon Lime Twist. So I didn't pull all of them out of here. Now the leaves, they have 2 stamps as well. We have that one. And we have our outline. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do my outline on one end and this one on the other end. And I'm just going to go ahead and stamp the leaves. Now this one you'll see I'm just stamping straight on. That's okay. If you wanted to stamp off, you can, but I just felt because it was just such a light color that it really didn't need to. And see, I'm just moving my paper around and stamping my leaves. So then I'm going to go ahead and do that little outline. That just adds so much. Alrighty, there we go. And I'm not even being precise. You know, this stamp set is very forgiving with that. And it's perfect for if you're brand new because you just can't make a mistake. All right, there we go with that. Let me close that up. Then we have one more. We're using Bermuda Bay. And we're going to use this little, they were calling it like a blotchy thing, which is just, you know, that thing. And then there's one that goes over the top. So now this one, you can stamp this off if you choose. And you can even do like, you know, double, triple generation stamping. Whoop, hold on to your paper. Oh, my goodness. Oh, and your ink pad. Hold on a sec. What was that all about? I can't wait to get our new ink pads when the new catalog comes out. We won't have tragedies like the flip. I didn't have it locked into place, but I have a little, I'm feeling a little blue on my fingers today. Okay, and this is going to go on top. See how simple this card comes together? Now I'm going to have a coughing spree. So, all right. Okay, let me take that off of there. Put that on my cleaning pad. All right, so there we go with that. I'm so sorry. I get this tickle, and you know, well, you know what it's like when you have a tickle. All right, so we're going to do a little embossing now. And first off, we need our embossing buddy. So we're just going to kind of go over this embossing buddy onto our cardstock. That'll help prevent any of the powder from sticking where we don't want it to stick. And we have our outline image. And we're just going to, and this is so well loved, it's hard to even see through. That's where that little arrow thing comes into play. But I'm not going to worry. This is a Versamark ink pad. If I didn't say that, sorry. It's a pigment ink pad. It has no color to it. So that's why you're not seeing anything. But we're going to add some gold embossing powder to the top. And if you've never embossed, it's just something you have to do. I mean, that's the first time I saw embossing. I'll never forget it. I was hooked when I saw it, and I loved it ever since. So here we have our gold embossing powder. I'm going to, is that my card? Yeah, I don't want to use that. This is the one we were using the other night. So I'm going to use this underneath to catch the excess powder. And all you're going to do is you're going to sprinkle this powder all over. And don't worry, all of this powder that shakes off is going to go right back into the jar. So ladies were kind of worried about putting on too much. And you just can't put on too much. If you put too little, you're just not going to get the good coverage. And see, this goes back into the jar. And even this will go back into the jar. And it just seems like this embossing powder just lasts forever. All right. A little messy, but hey, We're creating, so a little messy. All right, now I'm going to turn the heat tool on. And this is a Stampin' Up! Heat gun. It's going to be a little loud, so I'm sorry for just a little tad bit till this gets embossed. And it's going to take just a second or two to warm up. And I hope you can catch this embossing when it starts. All right, here we go. Can you see that changing? How that powder is getting nice and gold and shiny. Let me try to share this with you so you can see. There we go. I'm not sure if it's picking it up on camera, but I can see it. And that just brings the flower out. And to me, the embossing just makes this whole entire card. And like I said, embossing brings me back to the first time I ever stamped almost 18 years ago. And I actually joined Stampin' Up! Not knowing anything about stamping. I went to a party, I had a party, and I loved it. So I signed up. And the rest is history. All right, so there we go. Look at that. Stunning, stunning. All right, we're almost done with this. So our little piece of designer series paper. Yep, that's right. I had to think for a little bit. I had a little bit of a senior moment. That's going to go down along the bottom. And I can remove this paper underneath so you can see better. All right. Then I'm going to go ahead and use this variegated ribbon, which I love. I'm going to put a little bit. If you've been watching my videos, I don't mind making bows, but it seems as though everyone has trouble. So this is my faux bow technique. All right, just wrap it around. And then I'm going to take another piece. Oh, the end of the ribbon. Oh, so sad. But I'm so glad you're all here with me to experience that. All right, we're going to tie that. And, well, that's so sad. But I'm glad. Oh, someone is yelling outside. And dog is barking. Yes. Okay. So I'm going to bring my card base in. Sorry about that. But someone yells, she barks. Unless they're like enjoying my video so much, I'm getting a little applause from the outside. That's okay. All right. There we go. I can move this ribbon by doing it this way. You can slide it anywhere you want to slide it. And yeah, if you wanted to put a saying on there, you can. I think it's going to need a little something on there. So after I finish this, I'll throw a little something. But it's kind of hard to see the gold on there, but you can see it in person. So I hope you enjoyed this. Now, don't forget, this Garden in Bloom is going to be retiring the end of May. So you'll not want to hesitate, and you want to definitely add this to your stamp collection. You could head on over to my online store at stampandsuecreates.stampinup.net, and be sure to check out my host code and my free giveaway this month, which is by using the host code and making a $50 purchase, you will get these iridescent sequins. Look at how stunning they are. So this offer will expire. It's my offer for April 2018. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this card. Thank you so much for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you back here again real soon. Bye for now.